Welcome back to Klinger 2's channel, and today I'm going to be going over the maps over on Call of Duty Cold War's launch, and I'm going to be ranking them from what I think is the best to what I think is the worst. There's been a few maps that have been added throughout basically from the beta to the release, but yeah, I've been playing this game a lot since the alpha, beta, and now the full release, which was last week. So I've been playing it quite a bit, and I kind of have an understanding what I feel like is arguably the better maps in the game. So, yeah, let's get started. So the first map is going to be Armada Strike, and this is only going to be for 6v6 maps. Armada is actually a ground war map, the original Armada, and they actually made it smaller on the Armada Strike, and they did it with Crossroads too. So this is Armada Strike. This is pretty much the main ship in Armada, but it won the main ship, and that's it. So that said, I do think that the sub in the middle of the map actually takes away a lot of the fluidity of the map, because no one really goes in the middle of the map. Without the middle of the map being there, no one really goes there. As far as I've been playing the game and all the betas and in the main game, like, unless there's a hard point on the sub, I don't ever have a water combat fight in there. It just doesn't happen. Pretty much people only fight on the lanes, and I personally just don't think the map's that great, even with its build. I mean, Hijacked is about the best built boat map ever in Call of Duty, and probably will always be that way. Just because it was built sort of like, in my opinion, like a little bit how Nuketown was built. But Armada, as far as how it's built, the side lanes, there's multiple floors. It's kind of fun if you have SMGs. Snipers are good on some circumstances, but I just don't think the map's built that well, personally. I don't like the middle of it at all. Basically, there's no play in the middle of the map. It's only, I mean, technically there's an upper compartment where, like, kind of the captain's quarters are. That's kind of the middle of the map, if you consider it the middle of the map. But that's only on one side of the ship. I mean, there's also on the other side, I guess, a place to balance it out. But as far as the water goes, that's going to knock it down quite far for me. I'm going to go not good, but not the worst. Basically, one part of the map's unplayable. That's just how I see it. But the other side lanes are actually pretty good. So, I mean, you can, I'm not going to say pretty good, but they're playable to an extent. It's not the worst. It goes in the not good, but not the worst tier for me. Cartel, for me, I just don't have a lot of fun on Cartel. I don't like the middle of the map, really, at all. I think the middle of the map, and even to a certain extent, it goes from the middle of the map to kind of the side of the map. It has all these, like, I guess it's cartels, so it's probably marijuana plants. It's kind of what I'm thinking it is. I don't know what they are. I just know there's a bunch of plants in the middle. But it's not like one or two rows, or you can't even, like, see through me. Like, it's just super annoying map. I mean, I don't really like the middle of the map at all. There's, like, basically, it's like a false kind of barricade. It's like it provides cover, but it isn't, you can shoot through it. So it's like, if they see your name tag, but you can't see their name tag, because that happens sometimes. I mean, you're just gonna get shot through the, like, the trees in the middle, and it just doesn't feel good at all. There's a sniper tower on it, which is kind of cool, I guess, which can kind of oversee the grassy area, but that's still kind of like, it just doesn't balance it out, in my opinion. So basically, it's another one of these things where the middle of the map is unusable, and the side of the map really isn't even that great either. I mean, one side you have rocks, and yeah, it provides cover and stuff, but there's really not that much room. That's about the only place snipers, in my opinion, can be used pretty well. But there's one, like a garage. There's another side of the map where there's like a garage, and then there's like a kind of a hill, and then you go into this building. You can kind of use snipers there, but as far as like everything else goes, to me, it's just not a fun map. I really I'm struggling to think of something that's good about it. I mean, I think the sniper tower is kind of cool if you can get up there. Outside of that, though, the map in general to me is pretty rough. To me, it's the worst map in this game. I'm putting in garbage here. To me, it's the only really bad map in this game. Even Armada Strike, as far as like everything goes with it, I don't really like the center of it, but it's still playable on the outside, and you can kind of rush in with the SMGs and stuff, and it's kind of fun if you do that. But Cartel is a whole different story. Strike, What is this? Crap. Checkmate. Checkmate. That's what it is. I say strike. I think like strike zone, but no, it's checkmate. Checkmate is released with the main game. It hasn't not been in the betas. Has not been in the alpha. So I've been playing that recently since last Friday. Checkmate is very good. This map is solid. This map can be played on pretty much all game modes that I've seen with ease. I've even played free for all on it. I generally don't like free for all at all, and this map seems pretty good on free for all. But yeah, I like the plane in the middle. The plane is not really overpowered. There's really like for like a vantage point. Like, so the reason is because you can come in from multiple angles. There's a lot of areas you can come in from the plane. You can come in from either side. You can come in from the sides. So, like, if the plane, like, you come in from the nose end, you can also come in from the back end. You can come in from the sides. You can basically do whatever you want to this. So, like, basically, it's not like you're trapped inside a corridor. That's really nice. I do like the fact that on the wings, it's not really overpowered, for instance, because there's a lot of places that are equal to the wing seeing level. So you can actually shoot people, even when you're standing on the ground and you're shooting them to the wings, you can do that. The only thing that I really do think kind of detracts from this that I think would actually serve good if they actually took it out is the one sniper tower. There's one sniper tower on this that I think is kind of a little bit shafty, just because it's on one side of the map and there's not really anything to balance it out on the other side of the map. So depending on which spawn you get in, you could potentially get the sniper tower. And if you don't do that, then you don't get the sniper tower. That's about the only thing I think is a little bit, I want to say overpowered, but I just think it's kind of like a little bit unfair. But there's also the side lanes are really fun to go on. I feel like the whole map to me is just fun. It kind of circles together really easily. There's barricades. There's like, not barricades, but there's cover all throughout the map. It's a really fun map. I think you can use snipers, shotguns, AKs. You can use anything. You can use ARs, SMGs. This map's really, you can do whatever you want on it, not in any game mode. I'm going to put this in playable on all modes and all play styles. I don't know why that says words. Oh, it's supposed to be works. My bad. Sorry about this. Let me just do this. Alright, sorry about that. Crossroad Strike. Crossroad Strike is solid. I like Crossroad Strikes. The thing is it's a small map, so some people don't like how hectic it is, and I can get that. Basically, it's run by, in my opinion, SMGs in the middle area and assault rifles. On the middle area and in the tank area, there's a lot of grenade spam, which is just how it is. If you like, especially play hardpoint, I mean, there's a lot of grenades on this since the spawns are relatively close to the hardpoints. I think overall it's a pretty good map. I really do. I think the middle with the two towers, they're connected, and there's just a lot of fighting. I mean, if you want to go into a map that has a lot of fighting and action, that's the best place to go. Is honestly, in my opinion, for action wise, this is, as of right now, without Nuketown in, it probably has the most action for the map itself. I think the hard points are pretty well balanced. Domination's fun. Deathmatch is fun. Kill confirms his deathmatch with tags. But yeah, it's fun. I think this map is, on the one side, snipers. I think the one side is a little bit shafty, the left side, depending on which side you spawn on. The only reason why I say it is just because one side, it's like you have to climb up the mountain. There's a cliff. You have to climb up the cliff to get on the other side of the spawn. On the other side, you look straight down into their lane. So to me, it's a little bit like, you can take that route, but it's like if you're on the side that has the low ground, it's gonna be, you have to watch out pretty heavily for the people on the high ground. With that said, that's about the only unbalanced thing I think about this map. Really, the rest of it is pretty much straightforward. There's two towers connected to each other by like a bridge. You can walk into them. The tank side's really fun. I think it's a good map. I just don't like that one side. For that, I'm going to say playable, but minor setbacks. Overall, I think it's a good map, though. Garrison. Now, Garrison's fun. I get killed on it a lot. That's just me personally. I think there's too mmany flanking routes. Normally, I won't say that, but this map, It has a lot of flanking. You can go underneath the stair. You can go underneath. There's a little tunnel that you can kind of go in to get you from your spawn to the other spawn. There's a tunnel underneath the train or the tank in the middle. My bad. And then, well, maybe not a lot, but there is definitely quite a bit of flanking. You coming from pretty much both sides to get into the main area. You coming from the main sides to get into the area. You can stay in the middle up on the bridge and then shoot down to the spawns. You can, I think there's also some choke points on this map. Like when the game first starts, if you spawn on one side, if you go to the left, you go up the stairs, there's a tank, and then you go to the right. And there's this room that on the other side of the spawn is to the right side of them, and they have to actually, it's on a low point, kind of like how it is on a Crossroads Strike, where the one spawn gets a high point advantage, and the other point gets a low point. Now, I know that kind of is just how it's built, but in this map, with the timing and everything, most of the time what happens is the one side has a low point, jumps up into this little area, and it's just in time for the other people to get there, so they just walk up to him with shotguns and just blow him away. It's almost like worthless to even do that. Outside of that, I don't think the map, in my opinion, I just think it's a little bit, it's like chaotic, but it's not really like organized. My opinion, there's just so much stuff going on that it's easy to flip spawns. Not saying it's like hard on other maps, but on this map it seems like people really try to rush people pretty heavily. I get shot in the back a lot. The map is, since there's so many flanking spots, you get shot a lot from the back that you can't really see people. I'm gonna put Garrison at mid tier. I don't really think it's anything. I don't think it's like the equivalent to Armada Strike. I don't think it's anything above it though. Or above mid tier. I think it's an alright map. I think like if I play it, it's not like the win of the world or anything like that. It's just I would prefer like these two categories over it. Miami is very dark. It's the darkest map in the game, and outside of playing like a few maps in Modern Warfare that are like not the dedicated dark maps, but a few of the other ones. Like really, this is probably the darkest map I've ever seen in a Call of Duty, from my recollection. The middle part of the map is very. It's almost worthless to try to shoot people from there. It's the best way to put it. There's so many vantage points in Miami over the middle that it just doesn't benefit anybody from having a gunfight there. If you shoot someone, I mean, it just doesn't. You have one side that from each side of the spawns, you can go inside the hotel or you can go inside the building, and you can overlook the middle area, or you can shoot them from either side. So really, the middle to me is just not even part of the map. It is if you want to like kind of go to one side or the other, but most of the fights happen outside the middle, and I'm not really against that. It's just I just think that the middle part of the map basically doesn't exist. And then, I mean, don't get me wrong, there's fights that happen there, but for the most part, I don't really like go out of my way to shoot people in the middle part of the map, you know. I just don't like really whenever there's a part of the map that really just doesn't get used. There's also a part of the map that I personally kind of have not really an issue with, just kind of something that I don't really see necessary. There's on the one side, there's the ocean. And you can actually walk out pretty far in the ocean. Now, if you can crouch there and shoot people onto the beach. You cannot go prone though. Now, the reason I say this is because you can go pretty far out there. Then I haven't really seen many people do that. But if you were to do that, you could probably get some easy, cheeky kills that way. And since it's a dark map, you really can't see them unless you put your if you're playing hardcore, especially. I mean, geez. But if you have their name tag and you can see them, that's about the only way, because it's pretty far out there and it's really dark. If it's hardcore, I don't really know what to say. I mean, they're just going to sit out there until someone kills them. But yeah, I think Miami overall is an alright map. I don't think it's anything great. VIP Escort is by far the best game mode on this. VIP Escort is very, very fun to play on this map. I think it's just because of the atmosphere and everything like that. It's all dark and it really suits that mode well. Everything else, though, I just don't really have that much fun on it, personally. I'm going to put it mid-tier because I think it's better than these two maps, but I just don't think that it's anything. It's definitely it's barely getting out of not good, but not the worst for me. It's like it's riding that line. Like if it was on like a grade scale, it'd have like a 70 flat, something like that. Moscow. Moscow is a good map. Moscow is snipers are a little bit at a disadvantage on this map. There's one side of the map that you can kind of use snipers on pretty freely on the bus side of the map. The other side of the map, not so much. In the middle of the map, not so much. You can kind of use them. I mean, snipers in this game, the ADS is so quick that you can actually use them on pretty much everything. But if you were to like actually use a sniper and not use it with ADS, you only really got the bus side. Outside of that, though, I think that Moscow's a solid map. Moscow has very fun, fast-paced combat that I think suits Call of Duty pretty well. The ARs, the SMGs, it's very useful on this map. Shotguns, you can use shotguns. You can do pretty much everything on this map. And I played every game that I can imagine at this point on this map, and it's very fun with that. I think it's just a really good map, honestly. So I'll put Moscow in playable on all modes and works with all playstyles. And then Satellite is the last. Satellite to me is the best map in the game. Satellite has snipers, SMGs, shotguns, anything you want to play with. And it's open, and it's just, to me, it's just fun. It's not that much cover, really. So it's kind of weird that it's like my favorite map. The dunes kind of provide cover in themselves. There's kind of a hill in the middle, on the side with the plane crash. But just overall, this map is like, it's practically perfect. I mean, honestly. You have the ARs that can basically shoot the snipers. The snipers can do their sniping thing. Everything's in relatively close quarters, so you can use SMGs if you're up atop with the, airplane. The hard points are pretty good. Domination's pretty good. Deathmatch is good. Even at the bottom, I mean, there's a little pathways you can take, and that's still fun to go through because there's some like little covers and stuff like that, and you can kind of jump onto them and stuff. If you're on like the sides of the cliffs, you can kind of jump and shoot down onto them. It's just a really fun map. I think since you can basically play with any play style, it's fun on every game. And I think it's just the best map in the game. Yeah, I think Satellite is the best map. If I was to rank these, it would probably look like this: Satellite, then Checkmate, then Moscow, Crossroad Strike, Garrison, Miami, Armada Strike, Cartel. Yeah, that's basically what I rank them as, like in order. So yeah, thank you guys for watching my Call of Duty Cold War launch map tier list. Hopefully you liked it, and leave a like, share, comment, do all the YouTube stuff. If you want to watch me on Twitch, my Twitch is Klinger2. And everyone have a great day. See you again soon. Bye.